Hi, I'm Tom Scarpello of Revology Cars, and this is car number 336, a 1969 Boss 429 in liquid blue metallic with navy Napa leather interior. Today I'm going to take you on a walk around of this car, and we're going to go for a drive. Let's get started. All right, 1969 Boss 429 liquid blue metallic. This color was introduced by Ford around 2015 as a show car color, and it later made its appearance on the Ford GT. No other production cars though, and that's because it's a very labor-intensive color to paint. The base coat is almost translucent. You need 7 coats to get adequate coverage, but all that effort is really worthwhile. It's just a deep, rich, vibrant color. It's a cloudy day today, but it still looks great in the sun. It's really spectacular. So 69 Boss 429 basically looks like the real thing. A few little details that you'd be able to distinguish from an original Boss 429. The hood scoop is non-functional because our air intake for our supercharged engine is over here. It's not in the center like on the original car. Of course, the LED lighting in the front, you wouldn't notice that in the daytime, but you'll certainly notice the difference at night. Ceramic frit glass, because we use polyurethane bonded glass front and rear, that's a tip-off. Clearly the wheels and tires are a big tip-off that you're not looking at an original Boss 429. You need those 17-inch wheels to be able to package modern brakes. A few little details. The side scoop is our own. If you look at the quality of that scoop, the way that it fits against the bodywork, it's quite a bit more precise than the original. At the back, the car looks identical to the 1969 Boss 429 in the daytime. At night, again, you'll notice the LED tail lamps and reverse lamps. Now, this car has a very tasteful monochrome appearance with the blue exterior and the blue interior. I personally really like these kind of monochrome themes. I think it's very sporty. The client chose the gray contrast piping on the seats, and it's a really nice detail. Very classy, looks like it could have been original, but it's not. The Revology Boss 429 gives you so much more to choose from. You know, the original car was really a drag race special. It was kind of a stripped out model that had one real purpose in life, which was to go fast in a straight line. Of course, our Revology Boss 429 has quite a different purpose. It's about retaining the character and the style and the heritage of the original, but reimagining it and making it into a car that you could drive every day if you're so inclined. So the interior of this car is all leather. This is a Porsche leather. It's a navy blue Napa leather. We've used it on several cars before. It looks great. You've got matching navy carpet. The veneers are all genuine walnut, so you've got them in the doors, you've got the instrument panel. These are all built to our specification. In fact, all of the interior parts we designed and are made to our specification. So the entire door panel, which looks very much like the original 69 Deluxe interior, the IP, the console, the center stack, the seats, everything really with the exception of these trim panels here are parts that we designed and either make in-house or have a supplier make for us. So you get a very premium interior. I would liken it to if Bentley were to make a 1969 Mustang, this is what the interior would look like. This car is equipped with the automatic transmission. Of course, the original Boss was not available with an automatic, was not available with air conditioning, was not available with a lot of things that people expect today. So clearly, this car has everything that the Revology customer expects and more. New features that we introduced for the Boss include power-operated exterior mirrors, both driver and passenger, which is really nice. We have this flip down center stack cover so you can cover your touchscreen. People really love the functionality of the touchscreen, but they don't like the appearance because it kind of gets away from that vintage theme. So, you know, by having a nice high quality walnut cover, it sort of preserves the vintage aesthetic when you're not using the radio. But then when you want it, it's there and you get all that functionality that comes with it, like the Apple CarPlay and the reverse camera and all the other things that come along with it. Your switch gear for the windows are here in the console. Your parking brake switch is here. All right, with that, I think it's time to go for a ride. All right, we're driving 336. This is the second production Boss to ship. The client already owns 2 other Revology vehicles, also spec'd out very nicely, like really classy combinations of color and trim that were not original, but looked like they could have been. And yeah, this is no exception. The owner was gracious enough to allow us to show it at the Amelia Island Concourse event, and we had it on our show stand alongside an original 69 Boss 429 that was also graciously loaned to us by one of our other clients who is a prolific collector. And it was really neat to have the Revology Boss sitting right next to the original Boss. I mean, you remember the Boss 429, but you don't remember all the details. And the details are what make the difference. Just being able to see, for example, the interior execution and just how faithfully we recreated the interior aesthetic, I think a lot of people were really impressed. They just didn't expect it, I guess, to be as authentic as it was, but yet delivering, modern craftsmanship and materials and just really appearing like a luxury interior that you certainly wouldn't expect in a 60s muscle car. There's so many things, I mentioned details are important, but if you haven't actually designed and engineered an automobile, you don't really appreciate just how many details there are. I mean, literally thousands of parts on a car, and every interface is an opportunity for a problem. And what we've found is a lot of things that were acceptable from a design standpoint in the 60s clearly are not acceptable today, particularly on a car at the price point that our cars are at. So we find ourselves having to redesign the cars to a large extent. The body's no exception. I mean, these cars weren't stiff by modern standards at all. I don't even know if they were stiff by 60s standards. I mean, it was a volume car, and you have to keep in mind, to sell a car at a certain price point, there are compromises that have to be made to keep the cost down. But clearly, we're targeting a different market segment that has much higher expectations. It's also almost 60 years later, and we're also putting a lot more performance capability into the vehicle, not just in acceleration, but also road loads. Going into corners, the grip that's available, with the modern tires that are on this car, puts a lot more load into the chassis and therefore the body. So the body has to be significantly stiffer to be able to deal with, these increased forces. So that's why every Revology has a new body that we build in-house. So it's the restored car, but it's restored with a new body. And that's so important because of what we're asking it to do. And it really is a fundamental part of the driving experience. You wouldn't think that, you just think it's a body, but Mustang's a unibody car. So that means that, all of the forces act through the body. You've got a front and rear subframe, and that acts as a frame. So it's not body on frame design. That means that unibody has to be extremely stiff, for you to be able to get the maximum performance out of the chassis. So our bodies are all built with the convertible structure to start with. So back in 1969, Ford offered a fastback convertible and a coupe. The convertible, because they didn't have a roof, had a lot more structure in the cowl area, the torque boxes, and inner frame rail for additional stiffening, and also a shock tower brace that went across the rear of the car between the wheelhouses. And this car, this 6970 body style, is the first fastback that we've done with the convertible shock tower brace, and that additional structure has made an improvement as well. It's interesting, you see all these little changes. Well, I say little change, it's a pretty big deal to integrate the convertible rear structure in the body, but it's one change. You've got hundreds of these kinds of changes that we've implemented over the years, and each one gives you this little incremental benefit. Well, in this case, you can tell the increased stiffness of the body as a result. So you've got that convertible structure. We use automated spot welding, so we don't have cold welds. It takes a bit longer, but we're able to accommodate this in our production process given the volume that we're running at. And then we also seam weld the body. This is a process that production-based race cars have used for years to stiffen up a production body for racing. And we apply heat-cured structural adhesive, which is a technology that really started to become pretty mainstream in the auto industry only about 10 years ago or so. So we've got all of these technologies and additional structure, and all of this stuff collectively results in an extremely stiff body. We were able to tune the chassis to improve ride quality, but retain, excellent handling. So it's one of the benefits. And of course you get that stiff body. It transmits this feedback to you when you're driving. It's just the stability, this sort of directness, this immediacy. You don't get this sort of wobbly, kind of mushy response from the controls. And it really makes a big difference. It's just night and day. So, this is a very unique thing. No one in the industry is doing it, particularly with the structural adhesive. It makes a huge difference. If you're going to drive the vehicle, it is incredibly valuable. But again, the body structure is another one of these unsexy things that we do at Revology that unless you really take the time to dig in and really understand what it is and how it works, you don't really appreciate. But the sum of its parts, you will appreciate that. You'll definitely wonder, how is this possible? Well, it's a lot of little things. It's not any one big thing.